Welcome to our final session, The Ultimate Guide to Recruitment, from sourcing to onboarding. In a dynamic real estate market with rapid project developments, we address the pressing challenges of sourcing skilled employees and establishing crucial infrastructure. Join me in welcoming on stage Valentina Charalambous, recruiting consultant and owner at Work Channel Professional Recruitment, as our esteemed moderator for this session. Valentina, over to you.
Thank you, Despina. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Reality On, the ultimate guide to recruitment from sourcing to onboarding. We are thrilled to have all of you here today representing the real estate and construction industries. Recruitment plays a vital role in any organization, and in the context of the real estate and construction industries, it becomes even more crucial. Today, we have brought together three industry experts who will shed light to the opportunities, needs, and challenges specific to this sector. So, let me introduce you our esteemed panelists. I will start with Mr. Emilios Rotsidis, business consultant at Interfrontiers and Great Place to Work Cyprus. Ms. Pagona Lingu, HR Director at Parkland Resort and Spa, and Ms. Valentina Gregoriou, HR Manager at Agia Napa Marina. All of our panelists have extensive experience in the field of recruitment, and all of them have led their teams in order to attract and retain talent in this competitive market. Welcome all.
Thank you, Valentina.
Thank you. Now, let's dive into our discussion. We will allocate a total of 40 minutes, including closing and opening remarks. Also, we will allocate 5 minutes for each question and answer. Without further delay, let's begin with our first question. According to the Ministry of Finance, the unemployment rate in Cyprus has been decreased in April 2023 in 5.1%, which is one of the lowest rates in the last 10 to 15 years and one of the lowest rates in the European region. According to you, what skills and qualifications are in high demand in Cyprus, and how can companies bridge the skills gap and be able to find solutions considering the low unemployment rates? Mr. Emilios, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Valentina. It's great to have this opportunity to discuss these issues with you. Definitely the people perspective is always a challenge, and it will always be, especially for the real estate industry. I think it's another big issue with many different actions and functions. So if we take into consideration that we live in a constantly evolving world, and companies need to accommodate the fact that this is an infinite game, I was wondering whether the real question is, what are the skills for the future? Whether this will be on the discussion, or it's better to identify and create organizations that are constantly evolving in the fact that we have constant changes and disruptions. So I would prefer to go with the second fact, and if we have the chance to create organizations that are creating opportunities for people, and the skills are related to the fact that everything is going to be either an opportunity or a threat, maybe this is a different and more relative perspective. We need to spend more time with people, and especially with the leadership teams. So leadership teams need to be comfortable with ambiguity, need to be more comfortable with questioning everything, give more time for experimentation and other things that can be discussed with their teams. If I want to discuss some of the skills that I will, let's say, define for the future in an interview process, I would like to explore more with candidates how they deal with paradox, change resilience, or maybe how do they influence without authority. So this as a first point from me.
Thank you, Emilios. Ms. Pagona Lingu.
Thank you, Valentina. the skills that are essential today and are demanded from most of the organizations are totally different from those that were required in the past. And why is that? Because today's employees are having a different mindset. They are demanding totally different things from the employers today. And the way they deal with anything in the workplace is totally different from the past. So we need to focus on that and to approach them differently. Also, we are having a lot of nationalities today in the organizations. So inclusion and diversity are key pillars in every HR management system. So starting from that, we may say that today essential qualification and skills may be empathy, communication, and emotional intelligence. How we can cover this gap or how we can approach those young generation is that we need all the time to chase the labor market trends. We need to know exactly the mindset of the young generations and the way that today they are focusing mostly on the work-life balance. So this is the way for me.
That's correct, yes. Ms. Valentina.
Hello, thank you for this panel today and the opportunity to discuss further on recruitment and employment, of course. Now, I tend to agree with both of you today here, and we have to focus more on the soft skills. And let's be honest, soft skills, I mean, if a candidate has the character and the adaptability, qualifications may come later through learning and development, of course. And that's the companies, let's say, must have, I mean, to develop the employees. Now, when it comes to soft skills, and especially in the real estate industry, we are talking about leadership skills, listening skills, negotiation skills, the overall understanding of the real estate market and geographic market. And that's it, I mean, for the real estate at least.
Thank you, Valentina. Now let's move on to our second question, where I would like to ask Ms. Pagona to answer. How can companies related to the real estate and construction industries in Cyprus retain and attract top talent when rental prices are high and cost of living is a concern for many potential employees? Actually, I can say that this is one of the hottest topics now in recruitment, and it affects not only the real estate industries, but all the organization. So your information will be very valuable.
It's not I cannot say that it's a difficult question, but it's a very challenging question. Because today, we or all the organizations are facing a big problem. The market is very small. Cyprus market is very small. The competition is intense. So in order to find people with specialities that you cannot find very easy, it's very difficult. So you need to search abroad. And when it comes the time to find talented and experienced candidates, and you need to prepare an offer, then you face a problem, which is allocation, okay, which is the accommodation and how they can come to Cyprus, because rents, especially in Limassol, are very high. So here we need to find a solution. And our offers must be competitive and attractive. How can you prepare an offer competitive and attractive? and you have in front of you high rents in the area. So you need maybe to be sure that you have an accommodation to provide or a housing allowance to provide. Then you create other internal problems in the organization because you have employees that are living in Cyprus, they are having the same position, and they are not allowed to an accommodation or a housing allowance. And you are having other employees that are coming from abroad, and they are provided an accommodation or the housing allowance. So you are creating internal problems. You need to resolve those kind of problems. Maybe you need to create benefits to differentiate these two types of employees in order to be happy. This is not easy, believe me, but you need to try. I cannot say that the government must give some financial incentives to the organization, but this could be an idea. Or agreements with real estates, specific agreements with a win-win result. But it's something that we need to be resolved as soon as possible because there are sectors such as the hospitality sector, the real estate sector, the medical sector that you cannot find people in Cyprus. They are very big industries, but the labor market is very small. So in order to have people from abroad, you need to resolve other problems. You need to be competitive. You need to be attractive. You need to provide them with all necessary tools and support from the beginning. Because otherwise, why do they have to choose you?
So your idea on this is that different stakeholders need to assist and find a solution on this problem, including the government or probably the European Union,
Exactly.
The organizations.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much. Our third question, with the growing popularity of remote work and flexible arrangements, how can real estate companies adapt their recruitment strategies to attract and retain talent who seek a more flexible working environment and at the same time be able to deliver their projects on time? Mr. Emilios.
Okay, so here I think we need to analyze the industry and the real estate industry and whether this industry can create a competitive advantage for remote working and flexible working hours. If, let's say, organizations need to institutionalize attitudes and behaviors to create a response to any disruption and change that comes up, the second thing is to understand how important is the working environment. The real question on the table is, does the real estate industry can create competitive advantage for remote work and flexible working hours? Recently, I was reading a study in US. 82% of employees are frontline job holders. Can really this be competitive advantage with remote working and flexible working hours? And then if you take into consideration millennials are asking and demanding for purpose, or they want clear expectations from management, they want definitely work-life balance, they want fair salaries or profit sharing. My idea would be, is there a third way for the real estate industry? And I mean, can purpose and meaning be the competitive advantage instead of what all the other industries with flexible working hours and the remote working can actually create one there? So can we really establish more than a jobs for the real estate industry? I think that's the real challenge on the table. Definitely easier said than done, but I think this is the real challenge for the real estate industry.
Thank you. Ms. Pagona.
A recent research has shown that 87% of young people are requesting or are searching for flexible hours, working hours, in deep search of work-life balance. In real estate, where the physical presence is a must, because they need to deliver project, they need to follow up project, they need to investigate the area. It's very difficult. But believe me, every time there is a solution. Recently, I was in a conference abroad where there were two very big organizations, and they were presenting some good HR practices. And they said that they have started, in order to be attractive and to find talents and young talents, etc., they have started to create per person a working schedule. During the interview, they were discussing their personal life, their personal demands, the way they're living, and according to the position and the demand of the work, they were trying to adapt and to schedule a specific working program for each one. I don't think that it's very easy, but it's a way. So maybe in the real estate, they can arrange the 4-day working schedule. Let's say that they have to work some hours during physical presence during the week, but they are going to have 3 days off. This is something for young people. Or they can find other ways, but they need to investigate. They need to deeply investigate their needs. If they don't do so, they will never manage to attract and to keep those people. That's why we have a big turnover in some organizations. It's not because they are not good or they are not paying well. It's because they are not trying to find solutions in the working schedules.
Thank you. Ms. Valentina.
Well, one of the post-COVID effect in the business life, at least in Cyprus, is the flexible working hours and the remote working model. And honestly, I strongly believe that this is here to stay. I mean, we have to face it. Even if employers are showing a lower interest in adapting this in their business, we have the employees that they are expecting this as an offer. In the real estate industry and in our company, Ayana Pamarina, we do understand and we do acknowledge the challenge of demonstrating and eventually selling a luxury property virtually. Nevertheless, considering, the industry hands-on aspect for this, we're trying to find other solutions by offering other benefits to employees, like early finishes, like a more laid-back dress code even, or volunteering days, or flexible, schedule, especially for the people relocating and coming from abroad. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you all for your insightful remarks. So our fourth question, when it comes to employee relocation, what are the essential factors that companies should consider to ensure a smooth and successful onboarding for both the company and the employee?
Okay, I think the last 5 to 10 years we have a lot of people relocating in Cyprus, and number one thing, because sometimes I think that we are overanalyzing things and maybe we actually need to think in a more simplified way. So when it comes to relocation, I think number one factor is to make people feel that they have taken the correct decision to relocate in Cyprus. And then we need to spend time with them, make them understand how they will have impact on the organization, how their work matters, and how they contribute for the organization and for the whole country as well. And for me, we have actually two philosophies on the table most of the time. So we have companies that when they are offering a job, they believe that the employee owes them something back. So these companies' experience says that they are not really investing in onboarding schedules, programs, etc., etc. And then we have the other mentality and philosophy. Companies, when offering jobs, actually saying to you that I'm renting you from your family, I'm renting you from your personal time. And these are the companies who really go the extra mile and do different things and really add value to the onboarding process. Just to give you an example, I think many of you might be doing exit interviews. So we're asking people when they leave, why did they leave, and all these things. And I'm not suggesting to eliminate exit interviews, but I would suggest, could we introduce stay interviews as part of the onboarding process? So go to your people that they have relocated after 2 or 3 months and ask them, were your expectations fulfilled? Is your role clear? Was the onboarding process of added value? Is your manager also acting as the HR manager? And I think that this is a way to get more insights and have actually an onboarding process, not just because we have to or because the HR says to do 5 or 10 things, but make people feel comfortable, make them feel that they have taken the right choice to come here. And definitely, last point, I think that onboarding process needs to have a business perspective, but the social perspective is also very important, and we need to take this into consideration. So these are my thoughts.
Thank you very much. Ms. Pagona.
So Emilios covered half of my thoughts, but the second, yeah, I know. The other half is the practicalities. So when it comes to relocation, the candidates that are coming to your organization, they need to feel secured. They need to feel supported. So first of all, we need to send them all the necessary information about the country. Tax information, documents required, specific documents, or the area close to the organization, etc., etc. Second thing is that every HR department needs to appoint one person in charge of all those people coming from abroad. They need to have somebody to refer to, somebody that is going to give them all necessary information and support and facilitate their relocation. They need to feel accepted as they are at home, because you know, it's not an easy task, the relocation, believe me, and that's why they need full support from the organization. And as Emilio says, yes, after 3 months we need to follow up to ask them how they feel, if they find any difficulties, how can we support them. Otherwise, they're going to leave. So you try to find them, you made them an offer, but you have to try to keep them. And in order to keep them happy, satisfied, etc., etc., you need to do something.
Thank you. Ms. Valentina.
So I agree with all the points already said, and I will have to add on that the constant communication in all the process, the assistance with the migration if needed, and also I will add as well, I was just thinking now, the flexible schedule if the employee's family stayed back at hometown. The company might give a few days to work from home in order to, for the employee to visit the family, and he comes back again. And the major point in all the transitioning period and his work life in the company is to make him feel close to his home, let's say. I mean, to make him feel home, comfortable, secure, that he has the company to rely on. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now, how do you envision the future of recruitment in Cyprus, considering the technology impact, changing work dynamics, and all of this that we have discussed during this panel discussion today?
Okay. Definitely, recruitment is already a big challenge, and it's going to be bigger and bigger as we face new challenges. And I think, Valentina, this is related to your first question about the skills. So, are we chasing and we are trying to identify the skills for the future, or is the market designing the skills that we need? So what are we looking for through our recruitment? Valentina mentioned previously virtual tours. So if we need employees with those skills because we want to create this content in order to create competitive advantage, then I think market will drive recruitment and the needs definitely. And then we have AI. And then we have all those platforms for recruitment. And so things are changing so rapidly that, again, I will mention that let's create organizations that are constantly ready for any disruption and change, and that maybe will be more aligned with the market and what's going on around us. Especially, I have a sense that real estate companies are investing heavily on the technical skills. But I want to share with you that even with AI, soft skills will always be on the table because we will always have to deal with people, and there is no manual in dealing with people. So never forget issues like communication, collaboration, creative thinking, creativity or critical thinking, adaptability. These are things that are very important during the interviewing process, during the onboarding process, in order to retain more and more employees. And last point from my side, I would say that you as companies and organizations, you don't have the option not to invest on your employer branding. And this may be when we come as Great Place to Work and our certification, which we believe that is adding value on this process. So feel free after this this panel discussion, if you want to learn more, I will be at your disposal. If you want to stand out in this competitive market, then you need to showcase your culture, your values, your commitment to the environment or to innovation, and all these things are on the table for the upcoming years. Thank you very much.
Ms. Pagona.
So we all know that the development of automation and technology promises higher productivity, which means economic growth or increased efficiency or safety. But on the other hand, raises difficult questions, such as the nature of work itself, wages, skills, jobs. In any case, technological evolution has reshaped the workplace. But that's why we need to be ready. On the other hand, in this sector that we are discussing now, technology might be very positive because it will help this sector to be innovative, to be developed. And we see it today that technology runs very fast. We need to be over and above. We need to be one step ahead. That's why we need to see it from a positive perspective, not negatively.
Ms. Valentina?
So real estate recruitment in Cyprus is evolving rapidly, as Ms. Pagona said. The traditional methods of recruitment has been replaced with more innovative and efficient techniques that are tailored to meet both the companies and the job seekers' needs. So some of the changes in real estate recruitment are the online platforms, the remote work, and of course the data analytics tools. Online boards, social media, companies' website gave the opportunity to any job seeker from anywhere in the world to apply for a good opportunity. And on the other hand, the remote work expanded the candidates pool over any geographical borders for the companies. Now, coming to data analytics, we do have a major tool as a recruitment to identify good candidates that fulfill both, the companies and the jobs in the position, needs.
Thank you very much, all of you. As we approach the end of this discussion, I would like you to share a final thought or key takeaway from this discussion.
Okay. I think dealing with people is going to be always challenging, and especially in the real estate industry, knowing some colleagues who are working in the HR departments, I can share with them their concerns, their thoughts, and their challenges that they have to fight every day. Most of them are related to recruitment, but I think we need to explore more things in order to gain feedback and more positive things on the recruitment aspect as well. So I think we need to introduce a different way of thinking about the things, have a different perspective and different and fresh point of view maybe for the same things. So I know that you people in the real estate industry, you do have specific plans. But I will challenge you as well, because we have seen lots of plans, but the plans are not always the reality. So plan is one thing, planning is another. So in order to be flexible, agile, and adapt to the new needs of the environment, I would say that we need to have a plan, but at the same time, planning is also important if we want to be in this market in a more competitive way. And if I want to take into consideration all these disruptions around us, then focus is very important. But again, we need to see focus with different lenses as well. So yes, be focused, but at the same time, know what's happening around you. So be focused in a growth mindset and have open eyes to the environment. So you have, you are able to see the opportunities or the threats around you. So I would like to finish with this, and we can discuss whatever would you like after this panel discussion. Thank you very much, Valentina.
What I can say now is that we need to be open-minded to change our mindset. We need to listen to our employees' concerns, to be open with them, transparent with them as the very first time, and to provide them with, I will use an ancient word, Epicurean moments. Epicurus was an ancient Greek philosopher, and his philosophy was saying that try to make the people around you feel unique and be happy. This must be our motto.
I will focus more on this expo today, and how happy I am to see that the real estate market in Cyprus has been experiencing a steady growth, especially after all these challenges that the country has been through. The increasing interest of foreign investors in the country, and especially in the property sector, gave a breath to the market again. As a real estate company in Cyprus, we have also faced many challenges, such as the relocation of our clients, the recruitment of top talent, and the customer satisfaction. Now, how we overcome all these challenges, we have implemented several training programs and incentives, many incentives to attract and retain top professionals, and at the same time being dedicated to meet the needs of our clients while maintaining high standards of professionalism and integrity.
Thank you all. I would like to share my gratitude for our esteemed panelists, Mr. Emilios Rotsidis, Ms. Pagona Lingu, and Ms. Valentina Gregoriou, for their valuable contribution and expertise. Your insights have truly enlightened us in the journey of recruitment in the real estate, construction industries, and not only, I can say. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you found today's discussion informative and thought-provoking. The world of recruitment is dynamic, and we must continuously adapt to the changing landscape. Let us carry forward the knowledge and ideas shared today and implement them in our organizations. On behalf of Realty On, I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to our wonderful audience and our esteemed panelists once again. And a final note is that our panelists will reserve more time on a one-on-one discussion with you upon closing of this panel discussion. Thank you all and hope to see you again.